You guys were late. Everybody's catching up. So good morning and Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
It's been, I've seen many of you since our holiday party. If you had a great time at our holiday party, let me hear from you. That's fantastic. If you're sitting next to someone who didn't attend the holiday party, you need to lean over to them and tell them what they missed. It was a great night, and I think next year we have to look for a bigger venue because it just keeps getting more popular every year. So we're going to get the morning started with our now traditional raffle. For those folks that are here on time, in your seats on time, you have a ticket in hand. We've got some great stuff to give away today. Why don't we start off with a bag with a coffee mug and a coffee certificate from Rustic Bakery. What's their number? Six one two 3399 3399. Coffee at Rustic Bakery 3399. Hey, I'll take it. 3399. Oh, come on. Coffee at Rustic Bakery, 6123 400 23400. Sure I got the right ticket?
We're getting closer.
You're holding out for the better gifts, right? That's what you're doing. Okay. These folks, where'd they go? Is that you, Tom?
I got the 3399.
Well, why don't you speak up, man? Here's Tommy. Let's hear it for Tom. Okay, we got an infamous big old full bag of swag, College of Marin style swag. Practice this at the holiday party. 23314, 23314. Holiday swag bag, not holiday swag bag. Up in the back, Alex, come on down, Alex. That's what Alex needs, is a swag bag. Give Alex a big round of applause for his work in the ESL office. Happy New Year to you. Okay, how about the infamous, coveted 1 week of my parking spot? Okay, 1 week, it's parking my parking spot. And I hope you have better luck than I do. I've got more door dings in that spot than you can imagine. Given I got a vice president on one side, I'm not sure what's going on there. It's a regular war zone. 612-3291. 3291. 3291. Parking. Oh, come on. 3291 parking. Okay. Might be one of our people that take the bus or something. Okay, for the coveted parking spot, 23422. 23422. Oh, come on, what is it? Somebody's playing with me there. I know, well, there you go. Okay, I was exaggerating a little bit. Okay, 23379. 23379. Carol Shelley! Come on down, Carol. I'd like to give Carol a big round of applause for her work. I think Carol holds the record for working for the most vice presidents in the world, right? Thank you, Carol. Happy New Year. Okay, another Rustic Bakery. No, okay, this is a special gift hand-carried from China less than 48 hours ago. Wonder why I'm in a haze today? That's the reason. 612-3372. 33. Peggy Isosaki. I'll let you pay the customs on this, okay? There we go. Let's give Peggy a big round of applause for all her work. Now we have another College of Marin swag bag. Another College of Marin swag bag. Okay, this is going to go to 612-3295. 3295. College Marine swag bag. Right back in the back. I can't see who that is. Is that Joe? Joe in nursing? Yeah. Okay, faculty member. Come on down, Joe. Let's give Joe a big round of applause. For all those nurses that she prepared. There you go. Congratulations, Joe. There you go. We got anything else then? We have one left. And this would be lunch with the president. Now, I have to say I had great lunches. I had 2 lunches this last semester. Patricia Siri, I think Patricia's right over here. Patricia had a nice lunch with me. Excellent lunch. And where's John? John, our carpenter. Where's John? John was there up in the back, and John and I had a great lunch too. So thank you both very much for having lunch with me. So, you know the rule is it's either lunch with the president or lunch on the president. If it's on the president, it's $5 for the cafeteria. If it's with the president, it's a little nicer. You can ask those guys. 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Come on, I've got pretty good lunch manners. Most of the time. No? Okay. Okay, lunch. 2, 3, 4, 6, 1. 2, 3, 4, 6, 1. I'm hearing a clap. Oh! I think that's Andrea Wang math, right? Andrea, come on down, Andrea. One of our esteemed part-time faculty teaching math. Let's give Andrea a big round of applause. Okay. So, every once in a while we like to mix things up a little bit. And we have a couple special categories today. So I would like to invite all of our brothers and sisters with SCIU to come forward and join me down here. SCIU, we're 48 strong. Come on down. The theatrics don't quite work as well as you exactly want them to, but anyway, it's all good. So we would have had little lyrics, and the bottom line would have been the purple haze. So these folks, you know, we all work hard here, right? But these folks truly are the hardest workers on campus. They're truly the heavy lifters on campus. These are your custodians, your groundskeepers, your network administrators, there's some police officers in this group, there's custodians, there's the trades, there's electricians, painters, air conditioner folks, and who am I missing? Anybody? Custodians. Who did I say?
Custodians.
Oh, the custodians, the custodians. Let's give them all a big round of applause once again. So we have a special category, and it is called A Day in Your Boots, okay? So each of your names are, just the SCIU names are in this hat. And how it works is this. We're going to pull one of your names out, and I'm going to work with you, whatever you do, all day. We'll get together when your shift starts, whatever time that is. We'll work, we'll go to lunch, I'll take you to lunch. At some point in the day, if you want to hang out with me for the rest of the day, we can do that. But I'm not literally going to wear your boots because I think that's kind of funky. But With that, I'm going to pull a name out of the hat here. And I have Philip Fahey. But I gotta tell you this, let's leave the chainsaws and the heavy machinery. Be a bad thing. Once again, our STNRU professionals, thank you very much, guys. Okay, we have one more category, and I'm gonna set this one up, okay? So we'll let these guys sit down. If you know the answer to this, it's kind of a word association piece. If you know the answer, I'm not asking you not to call it out, but just stand up. And I need my spotters. Where are my two tall spotters at? Here's Greg and John. You help me spot who stands up first, okay? So this is a category of what do we have in common? If you start to know the answer, stand up. So is Leslie before David?
Slightly, about a half a
Okay, Leslie. What's the answer? Down David. You can go put the question mark there. David. Gotta be closer than that. No?
65.
No? I think it's or, yeah. What? It's 50. It's true. It's true. Celebrating 50 years. And I want to thank John for being a good sport here. John Goodmanson. See, John actually just turned 49 on December 29th, right? Okay. So, you know, this wasn't really about John and I, and you know, it was really about sharing the misery, right? Absolutely. But no, I mean the joy about getting older. But first of all, we have a gift for our esteemed chemistry professor. Come on down. Scott. This is another coffee. There we go. So, but now we have to find out who else might be turning 50 this year. Who else is willing to admit that they turned 50 this year? Oh, Michelle. Give Michelle a bag of Lucky or box of Lucky Charms. Come on down. So we have other boxes of Lucky Charms. Come on now. Back in the back. Who's that back there? I'm so Eileen. Come on down for your box of Lucky Charms. Come on, let's have a seat over. Got it. So we got Eileen. John, you might as well come down too. Over here. Beth, come on down. These are my favorite cereals right now. Okay. Any other 50? Oh, John, Urban Library. John, come on down. Is that Mike up there too? Okay. Okay. John? Okay. What are we going to do? I'm going to do something else with John. John's going to get this one way or the other. No, here you go. No. So, I'm going to take care of John in the process. So, you know, I was, as a kid growing up, what do they say? They're magically delicious. And I always wondered whether any of those really had a Lucky Charm on it, right? So actually, one of your boxes has a Lucky Charm on it. Yeah, absolutely. If you look at the bottom, and there's a sticker of a little bird. That's where the $50 gift certificate on me to Jason's Restaurant. Now I'm going to do the same thing for John who's getting a gift sport. Take out the early happy birthday to our 50-year-olds this year. Okay. Now I think it's time to get down to business. Okay. So thanks for having a little fun here this morning. We've got some introductions. First of all, we're joined this morning by several of our esteemed trustees. First of all, I see up front here, Phil Cranenberg. Thank you, Phil, for being here. And I know that Diana Conti was here but had to leave, but let's give Diana a round of applause. And I know we have our newest trustee here. We have a special introduction of our newest trustee. This morning, I am delighted to introduce our newest trustee, Brady Davis. Brady practiced law in Marin County for more than 10 years, having done most of her undergraduate work in community colleges while raising 5 children. I think that deserves a round of applause. She served on numerous boards over the years and was elected to the Marin County Board of Supervisors in 1990. Among other awards and distinctions, Brady was named Marin's Peacemaker of the Year and received tributes for outstanding achievement that were read into the U.S. Congressional Record and both the California State Assembly and State Senate records. Please make welcome Brady Beavis. Now, have you been joined by any of our other trustees that have slipped in? I think the only other one I was expecting is Trustee Trainer. When she gets here, we'll introduce her as well. Okay. We have a number of introductions of new employees. Each semester we have the opportunity to welcome those folks that are joining our community on a full-time basis. And it's exciting this year to be able to introduce 9 new faculty members that are starting with us. First of all, I'd like to ask them to stand, and when we introduce them all, we'll give them a big round of applause. Kristen Accardello, Professor of Court Reporting. Paul Cheney, Professor of History and Political Science. Mia Shia, Professor of Computer Science. Martha Gonzalez, Professor of Sociology. Robert Bob McCoy, Professor of Psychology. Lori Morocco, Site Supervisor of the Child Development Program. Sean Purcell, Professor of Psychology. Susan Rahman, Professor of Behavioral Sciences at Psychology and Sociology. Leah Sharp, Professor of Physics. How about a big round of applause for our new faculty? We have a number of new classified professionals joining us. Let's welcome Nathan Castillo, who's a College of Marin alum, is the new instructional assistant for the sculpture department. Chris Diaz has been hired as the plumber in the maintenance and operations department. Lucas Grisdell, instructional specialist for English. David Fitzgerald has been hired as one of our new gardeners. Farhat Indy, new systems administrator in the IT department. Farhat. Lygia Johnson, new financial aid technician in financial aid. Lygia. Martin Langeveld, new addition to our police force. Martin. And Laura Weller has been hired confidential assistant in the president's office. Laura. A couple of these classified professionals are not photographed, but if you're here, I'd ask you to stand and be acknowledged. Tracy Adisio, Tracy Adisio in Lab Tech and Life and Earth Sciences. Tracy. And finally, Matthew Walker, Assistant Technology Specialist in the DSP program, Disabled Student Programs. With that, I want to make a round of applause for all of our new classified professionals. How about a round of applause for all of our new classified professionals? And we have one new manager to introduce, and that is Matt Smith. He's another College of Marin alum. He joined our team as Director of Facilities, Planning, Maintenance, and Operations. Matt. So those of us that are not new to the community, we have a responsibility. Before we leave here, we have to make sure all these new folks have a coffee date, okay? We want to make sure that they get welcomed into our community. So new folks, make sure you get a coffee date. Old folks, or folks that have been around a while, those that are over 50, make sure they have a coffee date. One more big round of applause for all of our new employees. honored today to have with us a very special alumni, Miss California and first runner-up of the Miss America contest, Crystal Lee. Crystal attended College Marin as a currently enrolled high school student in 2008, taking classes in ballet and statistics. When asked why she chose to attend College Marin while in high school, she recently told us, the campus is beautiful, it's true. Students are friendly and focused, that's true too. The instructors are world-class and genuinely care about student learning, I think that's very true. And my mom works here, so I get to hitch a ride. For those of you who may not know, Crystal's mom was our very own Wendy Lee, who works in the IT department. Wendy's down here. So after her brief stint at College Marin, Crystal was accepted at Stanford University, where she earned a bachelor's in human biology and a master's in communication. Her future plans include starting her own company, but her schedule at the moment is keeping her plenty busy as Miss America's first runner-up. With speaking engagements and visits and so forth. We are delighted that she's here today. Please join me in welcoming the intelligent, the talented, the accomplished, and certainly the beautiful Miss Crystal Lee.
Back to this theater is like coming back to a second home, and the reason why is because I remember growing up attending a lot of musicals, being in the audience. I just recall telling someone who worked here in the tech department that I remember seeing The Midsummer Night's Dream, and Puck was on roller skates, and I thought, well, maybe I could do roller skates at Miss America. That was, violent talent. But I ended up being a ballerina, so we did cool things with our feet. But anyways, speaking in public is a very big part of my job, but I tend to get nervous whenever I talk about issues that are near and dear to my heart. I do have my typical spiel, talking about the program, talking about why I competed, what I had to do to become Miss California. But I have a very different feeling that overcomes me right now, because I would not have become Miss California. I would not have been able to graduate high school with the grades that I had. I would not have been able to go to Stanford if not for my experiences here at College of Marin. It starts fundamentally with my mom having a great place to work. It's not just that this beautiful smile, wow, I just called myself, I'm Chinese American, so I tend to try to preserve the humility that is observed in traditional Chinese culture, but at the same time, if Dr. Kuhn called me beautiful, I guess that's a pass, if I could say it. Okay. But what I was trying to say is, the dental insurance and medical insurance, all preferred by my mom, trickle down to me. More ways than one, it is because of the College of Marin that I am Miss California. So a lot of my fond memories aren't just of watching performances, but I learned swimming from Bob Justice. I remember taking lots of dance classes in the summer with Sandy Wielden, and I took my first statistics class with Dr. Ira Lansing. So all of these professors, are so indicative of the professorial community here. I would not have been able to do so well in high school without having these supplementary courses. And all of that, education, as we all know, is so important. They're building blocks. And without having had those experiences, I probably would not have been able to succeed in my courses in Stanford. So I'm very, very blessed and so honored to come back here and share with you my experience as an alum, because it's really important that all of you understand what you're doing is concretely affecting the students. They might not always have a chance to come back with a sparkly hat to tell you how appreciative they are, but I hope that I can speak on behalf of all of those students. Every single one of you, whether you're interacting with them directly as teachers or educators in the classroom, or if you're gardening, or if you're here as custodial staff, just creating an amazing environment for these students to really succeed. And it's really impactful and meaningful work. So I thank you for being here. I thank you for being a part of this community, and keep doing what you're doing, because many of the students ahead will be doing things way more impressive than being Miss California, and it'll be because of you.
We are very, very proud of you and all that you've been doing. And we want to invite this time Wendy to join us on stage. You know, we recognize that parents have a lot to do with how their children turn out. And I'm sure that Wendy obviously had a great impact on Crystal's development. And you know, here in California, in the United States, we don't really have royalty, right? We don't have royalty. But, you know, for all practical purposes, Crystal is currently our royalty. And every queen needs a queen mom. Congratulations to both of you. Thank you very much. You'll have to work with her on the walk there. Okay, excellent. Keep moving on here. So much. You having a good time? Excellent. Okay, let's get down to business then. No more fun. So here we are at the beginning of a new year, and I think many of us take stock this time of year, whether it's personally or professionally, assessing where we currently find ourselves and perhaps where we'd like to see ourselves in the future. As I step back and reflect on College of Marin's rich history, I can't help but be optimistic and enthused about our possibilities together. In December, I celebrated my 3rd anniversary of College of Marin. And throughout that 3 years, various people would ask me about my vision for the college. My response more often than not would be that I believed it was my responsibility to ensure that the college's best days were ahead. While somewhat non-committal, I believe it naturally takes some time for there to be clarity in one's vision. As we begin 2014, these near 50-year-old eyes are seeing clearer than ever. There are plenty of things that we probably can't be for this reason or that reason, but I prefer to focus on the possibilities. Of all that I believe we can be, I know we can be a leader in 21st century teaching and learning. And how do I know this? I know this because of you. You are the brightest, most talented faculty, staff, and administrators that I've worked with anywhere. Please give yourselves a big round of applause. You are committed to what's most important, and that is the success of our students and to ensuring their futures are rich with options and possibilities. I am very proud of the fact that our intellectual community has grown over the last couple of years. By the end of this academic year, we will have hired 45 new full-time faculty across disciplines. Let's take a moment to acknowledge all of those individuals that we've hired over this past couple of years. If you're one of our new 45, among the 45, please stand up and be acknowledged. Important role here at the college, regardless of what it is we do. It's the faculty that play that extra special role in teaching and learning. So let me let you in on a bit of a trade secret, or at least one of my trade secrets. When interviewed, each of the new faculty and all of the other candidates they were competing against were asked 2 critically important questions. I'm going to tell you one. Just one. What does 21st century teaching and learning look like for a sociologist, a political scientist, a chemist, a librarian, a counselor, and on and on? And I can assure you that the individuals that are standing before you today or stood before you got it. While being a leader in 21st century teaching and learning is multifaceted, one of the primary ways in which we can ensure we are a leader in 21st century teaching and learning is by preparing our students to be global citizens. It's as simple as this. Unless we prepare our students, the leaders of tomorrow, to be global citizens, how can we expect them to be prepared to join with the other future leaders across the lands and seas in solving the complex problems challenging our world today? So what do I mean by preparing students to be global citizens? I'm suggesting a multifaceted approach here as well. 1. For those students who don't speak English, we should further promote English language acquisition. Starting with myself. English language acquisition. Here at College of Marin, we have an intensive English language program, non-credit instruction in English as a second language, and credit instruction in English as a second language as well. 2. For those students who speak English, we should further promote the acquisition of a second or perhaps third language. I think that's our modern language. Here at College of Marin, we offer instruction in modern languages, including American Sign Language, French, Italian, Japanese, and Spanish. 3. We should also further promote many of the history, humanities, ethnic studies, political science, sociology, and speech courses we have here at College of Marin. For instance, did you know that we offer such courses as Humanities 242, Global Writings, Ethnic Studies 242, History and Political Science of Contemporary Africa, History 212, History and Politics of Modern China, Political Science 201, Understanding Globalization, Sociology 214, Global Social Problems, and finally Speech 128, Intercultural Communications. I'm certainly not suggesting that the responsibility for preparing students to be global citizens rests with the faculty who teach in those areas that I just mentioned. Quite to the contrary. I maintain that we have an obligation to infuse global concepts across the curriculum. And I really can't think of any one discipline where global concepts couldn't be infused into the curriculum. While offering courses with a focus on globalization and courses with global concepts infused across the curriculum go a long way towards preparing students to be global citizens, there really isn't a replacement for students experiencing another culture firsthand. So 5. Did I miss 4? I missed 4, but that's okay. That was 4. 5. For this reason, we must provide students with opportunities for cultural exchange and study abroad. One of the values of having international students attend College of Marin is that they expose us to other cultures and other ways of looking at the world. This semester, we will have approximately 100 international students enrolled at College of Marin, representing over 30 different countries. How about that? And I have to say, if I have one regret about my own undergraduate experience is that I didn't study abroad. In fact, I was well into my adulthood before I had the opportunity to do so. So number 6, at the same time we are offering such opportunities for students, we should also be providing faculty and staff with opportunities for cultural exchanges for the purpose of sharing best practices in pedagogy and curriculum development. Less than 48 hours ago, Dr. Jason Lau, Director of Community Education and International Programs, Nanda Shorsky, Executive Dean of Indian Valley, Workforce Education and Economic Development, and I returned from Beijing, China. We were invited to Beijing to visit Fangtai Vocational High School, which has approximately 5,000 students enrolled on 11 campuses across Beijing. Fangtai is one of the government-sponsored schools in China participating in the National Development and Reform Project. Fangtai is very interested in developing meaningful ties to colleges and universities in the United States. So who better than the College of Marin? The purpose of our trip was intended to be exploratory, which is how these things usually unfold. Exploring where we might have synergies, where there might be opportunities for collaboration, etc. And like any relationship, it's also about finding the right chemistry, if you will. Do we have complementary missions, shared values, mutual respect, and the best interests of our students in mind? We were pleasantly surprised by the number of potentially synergistic opportunities that emerged from our time with the school's administration, faculty, and students. From intensive English studies, to automotive technology, to early childhood education, to multimedia, animation, to music, to dance, to name just a few. We made no formal commitments with Fangtai while in Beijing, but we did commit to exploring, exploring the development of ESL and IESL programs, 1+1 joint academic and vocational programs, online distance learning, international student recruitment, curricular practical training and optional practical training, student and faculty exchanges, and opportunities for cross-cultural research and collaboration. I am very pleased to report with you one tangible outcome that has already come from this trip. Fang Tai is interested in contracting with College of Marin for the purpose of assisting in the development of an intensive English language program modeled like our own. How about a big round of applause for our audience? Fang Tai's IELP program would be offered on one of their campuses in Beijing with the idea of accelerating students' opportunity to learn English and then enroll at the College of Marin. I want to take a moment to acknowledge my fellow ambassadors, Nanda Shorsky and Jason Lau, tremendous ambassadors. Thank you very much for making that long trip. We left on New Year's Day of all things and just returned again less than 48 hours ago. It's all very exciting and much more to come on this particular topic. I will be asking Dr. Lau and Dean Shorsky to host a brown bag lunch in the near future. I showed you a fraction of the photos that were taken on this trip. Jason Lau, as you may know, is an amazing with the camera. He's got lots of great photos. Lots more to talk about this opportunity. So this morning, we have with an exciting new year ahead, we have some exciting updates for you. I've asked Vice President Elders and Vice President Nelson and Christina Combs, Executive Director of Human Resources, to provide you with some updates. So at this time, I am going to ask Jonathan to join us on the stage. And I'll be back in a bit.
Good morning. Morning. Wow, with these bright lights, I can't even tell if there's any of you out there. Well, I have just a few brief updates. I want to make sure we stay on schedule. I want to start with some technology updates, and then I'm going to give a couple of updates on the Student Success Act and some things that are going on with that. So the first piece of technology update. A lot of you know this. We've sent out information. How many of you have read the emails and other communications about our technology upgrades we're doing? Excellent. Okay. That makes this a lot easier. Well, I'd like to thank Ferhat, Burton, Aaron, Jeff in particular around the server upgrade and replacements. All of our production systems, other than Banner, have been migrated to a brand new server environment. They're working very well. The Banner production is planned to be migrated on February 2nd, so cross your fingers from February 1st to February 3rd to make sure that goes well. And then that project will be complete. And we will be fully in the 21st century. We will have, regardless of what possible scenarios arise, our data will be well protected. So thank you to them for moving us through that. With the network upgrade and wireless, particular thanks to Chris Edmondson for his ongoing hard work with this. Let's actually give Chris a round.